Hey friend, are you thinking about traditional publishing with a nonfiction book? Then you will need a book proposal, and this video is for you because I want to tell you 3 things that publishers really wish people knew about book proposals. Plus, I'm going to add one of my own at the very end, so stick around. My name's Kelly Notaras. I'm the founder of KN Literary Arts. We are your one-stop shop, getting you from wherever you are to having a book in your hand, so please visit us at knliterary.com. I have been in the book publishing business here in the US for almost 25 years, and I bring all of that wisdom to you right here on this YouTube channel, so please hit subscribe and click the little bell icon so you never miss a video. All right, today I'm going to talk to you about something that pertains really only to you if you are writing a nonfiction book. That means if you're writing a novel or a children's book, it's not for you. But if you're writing a cookbook or you're writing a how-to guide or you're writing a biography or a memoir, this is really important because publishers do not want you to write the entire manuscript before you submit to them. In fact, they want you to write a business plan for your book. So that's what I want to talk to you about today, is that book proposal and what there are 3 things that publishers wish most first-time and early stage authors knew about the book proposal. Number 1 is that your book proposal is a business plan for your book, like I just said. So what do I mean by that? I mean that if you were launching a small business and you wanted to get funding from another organization, you would have to create some sort of proposal, maybe a slide deck or maybe a written business plan. Regardless, you need to prove to that company that wants to invest in you or you want to invest in you that there's a reason why they should invest, that there is money to be made on their part. And so the emphasis here is actually on the business side of the book proposal. And I say that because it's really the number 1 thing that I was looking for when I was an editor, acquiring projects, and I did a lot of nonfiction. I was wondering from the moment I picked up that proposal, is this bound to make money for our company? Now, I know this might sound disheartening because, of course, a lot of us feel like our writing is our art and we don't want it to be solely judged on its commercial potential. But the truth is, when it comes to writing books for traditional publishers, big publishers, they have to make money off the books. If they don't make money off the books, they don't have a company anymore. So it is, of course, of primary importance. There are so many other factors that go into it. I mean, so many in terms of do I, as the editor who's going to be responsible for this book for its entire life here at the company, love it? If I don't love it, I'm not even bringing it to editorial meeting because I want to make sure that I'm not stacking my plate with things that are going to be a real slog for me. That's very important. Do I feel like this is what we call a love project? So something that might not bring in quite as much money, but I love it, and I know there's going to be an enthusiastic audience out there who will love it even if they're small. Sometimes those get through as well. But overall, because traditional publishers are businesses, they need you to be thinking like a business person. So what do I mean when I say think like a business person? I mean that your editor is going to need those marketing sections. So the marketing sections, I'm going to talk in just a second about what goes into a book proposal. They're going to need the marketing sections to be dialed and to really display an understanding of how books are sold. So we have a lot of different videos here on this YouTube channel, plus a lot of resources back at knliterary.com to help you know a bit more about what it is that the publishers are looking for in terms of sales potential. The long and the short of it is they want you to think about your book as a small business, and that this proposal is explaining to them your enthusiasm, where the audience is going to come from, why on earth they should take a flyer on this book and invest in it, which is what a publisher is going to do. So if you can think like they're thinking, i.e. think like a business person, you're going to be orders of magnitude in better position to actually get your book bought. The second thing that most publishers wish that new authors knew about nonfiction book proposals is that there is a standard format. So when I was working in the big houses in New York, we would, as assistants, get to order out food, which was very exciting because we all had no money and we got to order a really nice lunch, and we would sit and go through what's called the slush pile. The slush pile at a publisher is all of those proposals that come in direct from the authors and not through literary agents. Most publishers today do not accept unsolicited submissions. They do not have a slush pile anymore. But back in the day, I looked through a lot of slush. And what I saw was that a lot of people really had no idea what the publisher was looking for in terms of proposing their book. They would send in like photographs of themselves, or they would send in, a chunk of the book, but they wouldn't actually explain in the proper format what the book is about, who they are and why they're the right person to sell it, who the audience is, and why it's going to be finding readership out there, and then giving exactly the amount of content and the type of content that the publisher wanted. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to know the 5 parts of a book proposal, which is why linked below, I have my quick start guide to writing a book proposal that will walk you through the 5 parts. In brief, they are the overview, the author bio, that's you, the marketing sections, the chapter summaries, and sample chapter content. But I will go into it in much more detail in that downloadable, so go ahead and click that link in the description. The third thing that publishers wish you knew about the book proposal is that they are not going to read the entire thing if they are not captured by the overview. So that first section, the overview, is so important. It must capture both their attention personally and also really capture the main hook of the book, the thing that you believe is your unique value proposition, the way in which your book is going to be different than all the other books that are out there. And that particular piece has to be showcased very clearly and with a little bit of style and good writing for that editor to even continue reading the proposal. So this is something that I think hurts the feelings of a lot of first-time authors. They're like, but I worked so hard on that proposal. What do you mean they're not going to read it? They are not going to read it if they don't feel inspired to do so by that overview. So the thing they want you to know is work hard on that overview. Do not just slap it together. That piece is really, really important. It is the first step your book takes out into the world, and you need to make sure that it counts. This is something that it can be helpful to work with an editor on. Editors like those we have at KN Literary Arts work in the book publishing business, have for their whole careers, and deeply understand what it is publishers want in that overview. But you can get started yourself just by going to that quick start guide I was talking about down below that will help you understand what different aspects and questions need to be answered in that overview. Fourth and finally is what I want you to know about that nonfiction book proposal. I want you to know that just because a publisher decides not to move forward and make you an offer does not mean you do not have a great book proposal. So this is something that I need to say because too often I find that clients of ours put together a book proposal and then they send it out one place and it doesn't get a book deal, and then they decide it must not be good. And the fact of the matter is, all of the authors that you see out there who you love, who you follow, who you think hung the moon, they've all been rejected too. And the difference between them and you is that they kept going. Okay, that is the difference. If you can develop that thick skin that will allow you to say, they didn't want me. Okay, great. Next. You will have so much better chance of getting published. You have no idea, because it's that stick-to-itedness. It's that dedication, that drive that really separates the people who are just kind of using this as a hobby from the people who actually want to get published by a traditional publisher. Hobbies are amazing. I write for a hobby too. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. But if you want your book proposal to get picked up by a traditional publisher, you need to recap, think like a business person. You need to submit a proposal that aligns with industry standards. You need to really capture them in that overview. And fourth and finally, you need to keep going even if you get rejection. Everyone gets it. It's part of being an author. Welcome to the world of writing. So I hope this has been helpful to you who are wanting to put that book proposal into the world. You can find out so much more at knliterary.com. We have a blog. We have all sorts of resources there. And, we would love to talk to you if you want to schedule a free call. With that, I will say good luck, keep going, and happy writing.